we're going to start standing up today. So grab your ball. We're going to place it between the knees and find a comfortable standing position. Think about your feet facing forward. We're going to relax the shoulders down and try and grow tall through the crown of the head. I want you to practice for a couple of breaths your pelvic floor lift. So when we do this, we don't want to feel any gripping through the bum or any excessive action in the inner thighs. So it would be imperceptible to someone if they were watching you do it. So when you take that breath in, we're going to expand the ribs. As we exhale out through the mouth, we're going to pull in the back passage, the middle passage, and pull that sensation all the way to the front. Hold if we can. And then as we start to breathe out, we're going to release that sensation and relax. So we're going to just take a couple of breaths to get that into the body before we start moving. We breathe in nice and deeply through the nose, expand the ribs. Exhale out through the mouth, pull the back passage, middle passage, and front, lift and hold. And then relax. Good, one more time. Take a breath in. As we exhale, lifting the pelvic floor up and inwards, drawing up, hold. Just see how long you can hold before you start to feel like you're losing that connection or the contraction. And then we gently release and relax. Good. Keeping that in mind, we're going to go through our exercises now. So we're thinking about our coordination and our deep core connection for this class. We're going to go into some little bends in the knees. So let's bend the knees, lift the arms out in front, and then come back up to standing. Think about your pelvic floor lift. Breathe in to go down. Exhale, stand up, lift the pelvic floor in, and repeat. Good. So a little bend at the knees as if you're sitting back onto a chair, and then you change your mind. Which, if you're a mum and you have older kids, you might have this pattern. It's quite familiar. The moment you go to sit down, kids will ask you for something. 3 more. Breathe in, bend the knees, stand up. Good. Last one. And then we're going to add this little heel lift. So you're going to come up onto your tiptoes, lower back down, and go into a little plie again. Lift the heels, sit down, and plie. Good, so we're challenging our balance here. Only go as high as feels in control. So play about with that ankle mobility. We're going to go 2 more and then hold on the next one. So drop down into your plie, lift up, hold. Hands reach towards the floor, up and down with the heels. So up 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 5 and 6, slowly bring the heels down. Take the ball from between the knees and pop it to the side. We're going to come down onto the mat. So if we step to the back of the mat facing forward, we're going to do a roll down. So we want to start in this lovely upright position, shoulder blades pulled back. Breath goes in as we just practice. As we breathe out, the chin will slightly nod inwards. We'll keep the legs nice and still. We're going to fold forward. So starting this rounding motion through the upper spine. Flex that spine, reach towards the floor. Go as low as you can on that first one. And then we're going to start by pulling the tailbone under and coming back up to standing. And once your head and shoulders are back on top of your pelvis, you take a breath and you go again. So we'll do this 2 more times. As you breathe out, think about hugging the belly button inwards, relaxing the arms, dive down towards the mat. Feel a little stretch through the back of the legs here. As we breathe out this time, start the movement from the bottom of your spine. Slowly up, head and shoulders on top of pelvis, nice and tall. Final time, exhale. Round, roll down. Good. And then walk your hands out, bring yourself onto your knees, onto the mat. We are going to start in a sideline position. Have your knees gently out in front of you, and we're going to start with the hand forward. Take a nice big breath, try and reach the floor behind you, and then sweep it forward. As we do this, we're keeping our knees firmly in place, contacting the floor. Getting a lovely stretch through the shoulders here. Nice. Now on this next one, I'd like you to reach your hand forward. So So reach it forward and then drop that shoulder blade back and open the hand out towards the back of the room. Reach forward, drop the shoulder blade back, open it out behind you. One more time. Good. Bring the hand back and we're going to come up onto our forearm for our plank. So we're going to take the feet slightly further behind, have the knees in line with the rest of the body, elbow underneath the shoulder, and we're pulling the waist in. Grab the ball. We're going to do 6 planks, pressing the ball, and then we'll do 2 without. So nice big breath in. As we exhale, lift the hips, press your hand into the ball, firing up all of this lovely waist muscle. Come back down, breathe out, go again. Really work with your breath here. This is where we find that deep core connection. And play about with that ball position. If it doesn't feel comfy, just roll it to a different position. Good, 2 more. So now we're starting to build some strength. Last one. Good, taking the hand away from the ball, 2 without. So we're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, lift the hips, hold. Come back down, breathe in, exhale, lift the hips, hold. Feel all that muscle working really hard. Good, rest. Now I'm going to get you to roll onto your backs. We're going to start with your hands up overhead. We're going to circle them out to the side and then reach them to the thighs. And as we reach them to the thighs, bring your head and your shoulders away from the mat. Then circle the arms back, bring your head and shoulders back down. Breathe in. As we exhale, sweep the arms out to the side, lift your shoulders, lift your head, look towards your belly button, and then soften back down. Now we shouldn't feel a cranking sensation through the neck. This should feel like it's working the abdominals. Imagine you are pulling your rib cage down towards your pelvis, using the muscles inside. Last one. Reach your hands towards the back of the thighs, grab your thighs, and then try and lift your shoulder blades up a little bit more, sinking the tummy muscles down in towards you. Then soften your shoulders and your head back down onto the mat, relax your arms. We're going to do that same movement, but now add in the legs. So this is the coordination part of the class. The hands will go up overhead. As we circle them around, we're going to bring one knee in towards us and reach our hands towards the back of the thighs. Then bring the foot down, the hands go back overhead, your head rests on the mat. And swap sides. As we breathe out, you fold one knee in towards you, reach your hands towards the back of your thighs. We're not going to do many of these. Breathe in, exhale. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. We should have that hugging sensation of the abs inwards. Good, rest your hands up overhead, place your feet onto the floor. The hands are now going to find the back of your head. You're going to lace the fingers together and rest your head in your hands. Make sure those shoulders feel like they've dropped away from your earlobes. Similar action with the legs, but now we're going to add a bit of a twist. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to twist to the left. Bring your left knee towards you. Go back down, and we're going to swap sides. You're going to twist to the right, bring your right leg inwards. Breathe in at the bottom. Exhale, just a small little movement, working with your breath. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, the elbows relaxed. We don't want the elbows to do that reaching. We want the core to help move us. Last one. Drop your head back down, rest your foot. Well done. Take the arms up towards the ceiling and let's try our dead bug and see how we're getting on here. We're going to do one arm and one leg to begin with. So we've got one leg in the tabletop position, the hands are both up. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, keep your pelvis and your ribs still, reach the arm and leg away. The lower you go, the more load you're going to require, or the more control you're going to require on the core. Inhale, come back in. So if it's feeling a bit hard from that last sequence, I'm going to invite you to reach your hand and your leg more towards the ceiling than towards the floor. One more. And we're going to swap legs. So place that foot down, take the other leg up. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach the arm and leg away, but stay balanced through the torso. So you do not want any movement in your lower back or your ribs. If you've got a little bit of movement, but you're aware of it, work with it. Just try and correct it. Try and keep it still. Keep the same shape. Good. Rest it down. We're going to go into your dead bug, the full version, for 8 reps. So think about what you want to concentrate on, your shoulders, your ribs and your pelvis. Arms will go up, one leg at a time. If this gets too strenuous, stop at 5 to 6 if you can't make the full 8 reps. Breathe out, opposite arm and leg. So this is the brain work part. We're getting the neural pathways going again. And swap sides. Stay balanced. And stay switched on for this one. 4. Good. 5, you can opt out here. Opt out at anyone. Good. 6. And 7. And 8. Bring those knees, hug them in towards you. Take a little rest. Good. Feet go back down onto the floor. We're going to take it into our bridge sequence, but a little bit different. We're going to change your footwork. You're going to place one foot slightly further forward. We're going to practice working on one leg. Have the heel down and the toes up. Think about balancing the pelvis. Take a breath in, tilt the pelvis, roll the spine up, find your bridge position. To your shoulders, not onto your neck. Slowly scoop yourself back down. So you should feel it working one leg more than the other. Breathe, exhale, roll, lift the hips up. Squeeze in through the back of the leg and the bum at the top, and the hips are level, they're not wonky. Relax and go again. Tilt, roll, lift the hips. Keep the connection between ribs and hips. Soften back down, lower back, and your hips are the last thing to come down. One more time. Breathe in, exhale, roll, lift up onto shoulders. Keep the arms long, neck relaxed. Soften back down with control. Should be feeling a little bit harder once you've taken the other foot away. I'm going to swap the feet. So bring one foot in, other foot out. Stay grounded through the feet. So big toe, little toe, heel. Scoop and roll. Hips up towards the ceiling. And slowly back down. So if you find that the foot positioning doesn't really work for you, please adjust. You can also dial this back and put both feet into your start position. You don't have to work one leg. And you want to feel balance from the back of the leg and the bum and the core. You don't want one overworking more than the other. And we focus once more on that connection between that last little rib and your hip. Roll it under and lift up. Good, last one, coming back down. Hug those knees in once more. We're just going to grab behind the thighs to do a little transition up to seated. Chin in towards your chest, kick your legs up. And we're going to take ourselves onto the other side. So swing your legs round, lower down onto the mat. And we're going to think about our open doors. So knees are forward, hand out in front. Take a nice big breath in, exhale, sweep it behind. And then bring it forward. So keeping the arm in line with the shoulder socket. Stretching as the hand goes behind. So this is quite a nice one. Mobility and stretching. Keep the knees pressing into the mat. Now add that forward reach. So you're going to reach that hand forward, the shoulder follows. You're going to drop that shoulder back and open it out towards the back of the room. Come forward and reach. Drop it back and open. Couple more. Reach forward, drop back and open. Well done, last one. Good, bring that hand down onto the mat and we're coming up into our side plank position. So onto your forearm, swing your legs so they're slightly more in line with you with the feet behind. We're gonna start with our planks with the ball. So we're gonna take a breath in. As we exhale, 6 of these, lift the hips, press your hand to the ball and then lower back down. So keep that rib cage hugged in. Breathe out, go up, press the ball. Work with your breath here. This is that deep core exercise. So if you empty the lungs, engage deeply through the transverse abdominis, you should really feel this, the underline, maybe even lower abs. Last one, and then we're going to do 2 without the ball. Press, lift. Good, remove the ball, hand on hip, shoulders back, lift and hold. Pull it in, lower down, breathe in. Exhale, lift. Good. Hold and slowly back down. Well done. Let's swing ourselves round and find 4-point kneeling now. So your hands will be underneath your shoulders and your knees will be underneath your hips. We're going to roll those shoulder blades into the back pocket and make sure the spine feels like it's as straight as it can be and your head is lifted in line with the back of your shoulders. We're going to practice our Supermans. So opposite arm and leg, very similar to the dead bug. Breathe in. Exhale, reach one arm and leg away and lift. Down, stay controlled. Exhale, swap. So you want there to be minimal shift in the weight, which is where we work our core connection. And at this point in your postpartum journey, this should feel somewhat challenging. Especially if you're working very hard to remain balanced. If you're working just to get the movement into the body, there's a little bit more brain involved there to begin with. Once the movement's in the body, you can start to think about your core, your breath, balance. Last one. Good. Rest. Bring the ball towards you. And we're going to spice up our life with some press-ups. You're going to place one hand on the ball but remain in this box position. So take the hands to the edges of your mat. We're going to do 6 press-ups on each side. So as we bend the elbows, our head and our chest will come closer towards the floor. As we breathe out, we're going to come up. So breathe in to go down. Exhale, push into the ball, straighten the arms, come up. That's 2 already. Breathe in to go down. Exhale, deeply come back up. Good. And 4. Number 5. Last one, 6. And we swap. Roll that ball over, swap it into the other hand. Reset your posture if you need to. So shoulders back and down, knees balanced. Take a breath, bend the elbows. Exhale, push the floor away, come up. Well done. Inhale, go down. Exhale, go up. So we keep this box position, but we introduce the ball for a little bit of added stability work, and it makes it a little bit harder. 2 more. Breathe in. Last one. Good. Well done. Reach the ball forward. Place both hands onto the ball and then drop yourself down into a child pose. Knees are somewhat separated here and your head hangs down towards the mat. Breathe into it. I like this one as a back stretch, especially if you can take a nice big deep breath in and sort of sigh it out. Nice. Coming out of your child's pose, bring the ball and place it between your knees. Hands go back underneath your shoulders and we think about lengthening the spine. Tuck the toes because we're about to lift our knees away from the mat. So this is going to be a little bit of an arm exercise as well as a core and coordination. So a few things to think about. Breathing in nice and deeply through the nose. As you blow out through the mouth, you are going to lift the knees away from the floor and then bring them back down with control. So stability in the upper body here, in that shoulder girder area. Breathe in, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Breathe in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. And last one. So we're going to take the ball out from your knees, place it to the side. Take the knees further apart, feet together, and we're going into a child's pose. So hips back onto your feet, slide your hands forward, drop your head down towards the mat. Take a breath. And then we're going to take one hand under the armpit for a thread the needle in child's pose. So a lovely deep back stretch. And we'll swap sides. Good, come back into center. Bring your hands under your shoulders. As we just did, we're going to tuck the toes, this time straighten the legs with the hips going up, the head going down. We're going to find our down dog. I want you to lift and lower the heels to get a stretch through the calves and the Achilles. Swing your hips about if you feel like they need it. And then when you're ready to finish, you bring your hands back towards your feet and we'll finish there. Well done.